instead of going only to television studios. The amount of time that you spend in television studios, if you take 1/4 of that time and go and talk to investors directly, you will get a response from the investors that is much more real, much more direct.
Who do you think was responsible for this?
No, look,
the minister himself, is it?
Look, in my book, accountability is very simple. I mean, I come from a background where I've built companies and I've launched successful companies. The boss is accountable. So in this, you can call it the secretary who is accountable or the minister is accountable. I would say that at the end of the day, Mr. Sibal, the minister, must take the onus of saying, I will have a successful auction in March 2003. He is capable of it. He is a very, very smart gentleman. He is a very intelligent gentleman. He is an erudite gentleman. But he must make it his objective to have a successful 2013 auction. And I am sure if he puts his mind to it, goes out and seeks advice, if he does not know something, he goes out and creates a group of people, part government, part industry, part wherever, and he goes out there and creates a policy and a action plan that says, I want to bring 20 investors into India. He's going to do it. It was done in the past. He can do it again.
Is it the government's arrogance which led to the failure? The government saying that there was no loss and actually believing that?
I am not part of government, so I don't know, and I hate using words like, I don't like getting personal with people and all of that. I just feel that it didn't seem to me from day one, from June 2012, it didn't seem to me that the government was very keen to create a success. It was obvious to me then, because it was around that time that I put a document together called Getting the Telecom Sector Back on Track, and I circulated it to people in government. And one of the important points in that document I mentioned was, please do an investor roadshow. Please do an investor conference. Bring people in and listen to them directly, from them directly, what is bothering them about Indian telecom.
The government, of course, is saying that there was no need for any roadshow earlier.
There was no need. There is nothing in the constitution that says you need to do a roadshow. There's nothing in the telecom policy that says you need a roadshow. But it's instinct. If you are today in a situation where there has been so many allegations of scams and allegations of public policy confusion, as in 2010, it becomes common sense for me to say, if I'm leading the effort to revive the confidence, it's common sense to me to say, I will go to the people who have to write the investments and say, what is your concern? Let me tell you that we have either addressed a concern or we will address a concern. But to be so far away from them and to assume that you know all the answers without even consulting the people who have the problems, you are setting yourself for disaster. You are setting yourself up for flops and failures.
Rajiv, when you look at the sort of comments now which have been coming from the government after the auction, the government seems to be totally unapologetic about this, the way the auction has happened. They are saying that this is what the market price is, and this is
that's to be expected. This nobody has even today acknowledged that anything went wrong in 2008. There's nobody in government has acknowledged that. So I think that let's leave it to the courts. In India, a politician will never accept a mistake unless somebody forces him to accept a mistake. So that's the reality of it.
But you don't get a sense of feeling within the government that they're disappointed with the auction?
I know, for example, the finance ministry is disappointed, but they are disappointed from a different perspective. They're disappointed because of the current account deficit and the large fiscal deficit. I know that many in the telecom fraternity are disappointed because it's in a sense almost a sign of no confidence in the sector. I know that overall watchers of the Indian economy, including international watchers, are very disappointed because the telecom is a golden goose, to use your word, and any signs that the telecom sector is weak or being seen as not successful by investors is in a sense bad for the whole India story. But the people who know, people who have an acute sense of what is right and wrong for the Indian economy and for India as a whole, know that this was not good. That's enough.
When you look at it finally, do you think the sort of now the tangled wires which are there in the telecom sector, do you think that the government is capable of untangling them? They can do it before the next set of auctions happen?
Ajit, I have absolutely no doubt. This is not like I kept saying, this is not nuclear physics or nuclear science. This is pure common sense. It is about a desire, political desire to untangle this. It's about a political desire to say the telecom sector is successful and is revived and investors are flocking to it again. If that desire is there, look, the minister is a very powerful man. He's a very intelligent man. He can.
Does this government have the desire?
You have to ask them. You have to ask them. I today would feel I am puzzled Why would you want, if you are a political leadership today of telecom sector, why would you, in the face of our fiscal deficit, in the face of our current account deficit, why would you not have an inbuilt incentive to make the telecom sector successful again, especially when it is the one shining example of infrastructure development in India that has done so well without government financial assistance? So I think they can do it. I don't know why they are not doing it. That you should ask them. And I feel that, and on a conclusion, I believe it's absolutely critical that they do it.
On that note, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, thank you for speaking with NDTV.